Thank you for being here. I want to talk about, or what I'm going to cover is the redesign that you are very aware of, the centralization of financial aid and A&R. And again, just giving some background. So the goals of the redesign, as each of us know, we are in a new world with COVID-19, but really looking at our processes and the goal of the redesign, the work that we do. If you look at the work across the colleges, there are some processes that, applying to the college, getting financial aid, those are processes that are very driven by regulation, by policy. So looking at the centralization of those areas, really looking at those items that could be highly centralized. So the goal of the redesign is really everything is changing very, very rapid in our society. Even before the pandemic struck, many of our ways of providing service have grown outdated. And I think we all could agree with that. Some of them was way outdated before before COVID-19. And as we recent our collective work around our bold commitment to equity, we need to be willing to do things fundamentally different in order to get fundamentally different results. So we've all seen the data that's out there, and it's the same. We're doing the same thing, we get the same results. So we fundamentally have to shift our model to get different results to serve the students at our institutions. This isn't a district project. It isn't a campus project or a college project. It's the work we do collectively. So it is important to remember that it's not just, district pushing or a college pushing. It's all of us collectively working together to change the model for our students. The service model, we don't know fully what the post-pandemic world will look like when we come back on ground, but we are certain that it will require a service model that is both high touch and high tech. We have to think about our lines, what we are accustomed to before the pandemic, were lines, paper to counter, paper to person, and we really have to create a model that's high touch, but also high tech. So gone will be the days of choosing between in-person customer service and the convenience of an effective online, gone will be the days of choosing between in-person customer service and the convenience of effective online systems. We have to really look at how we provide services for our students. We must do both, and we must do them well. For many of us, the conversations will probably provide an extraordinary, once-in-a-career opportunity to redesign the frontline service models from the ground up. It's exciting to think about how we can really change the model and really build that and be a part of that model of something that will last for years and decades to come. So we have often seen the complexity of our processes. We really have to think about those processes and simplify them for our students and for us. Every one of us work very hard, and we have to simplify the model so that we are being efficient and effective in our model. So we really need to look at our transactional work and make it transformational. So we do a lot of transactions in both of these areas, financial aid and A&R, and we really have to look at how we can transform that work. We still have to process, that is going to have to happen, but how can we do that in a transformational way? The goal of this process is to build a new service model that flips the dynamics. The transactional should be in support of the transformational. When this work requires us to both align disparate systems or processes, we have to align them so that they are progressive and push our organization forward on behalf of all students. So we really do have to get our processes in place to help our students. And I know that we process a lot. So that's what we're trying to figure out is what is that model? What are those processes that can be centralized, highly centralized, so that we can really do the work with our students? So what is the structure? The structure, we expect that one outcome of these discussions will be a new highly centralized structure for delivery of these services. Nobody will lose their job. So I know that's a question that comes up a lot. No one will lose their job as a result of the redesign work, but our jobs will look different and feel different. This is the part of the change. We have to shift to meet the change. So I just want to put that out there because I know that's been a question a lot about jobs, and everybody will have their job. It will just look different. It will feel different, but it's the work that we do. The specifics of these discussions are yet to be determined. That's what the start of this is. There's going to be lots of opportunities. This is just not a one-time discussion. There's going to be discussions in the senates. There's going to be discussions in the unions. There's going to be discussions everywhere as we move forward. So again, don't feel like this is my only one shot that I can have to put out to have input, because there's going to be lots of opportunities for input. And then what is the timeline? The timeline is expected that we start the work now with a goal of implementing the plan in late fall of 21, so that we will be ready to go in January of 2022 when we come fully back on ground. That's the goal. So there's a lot of work to be done to get to that point. So again, timeline, working now, hoping to implement a plan in late fall, and then be in place when we return in January of 2022. As you all are aware, it takes time and lots of discussion. So that is the goal of having everything in place by January of 2022. And then finally, the last, what are the next steps? That's again what we're doing now. What my understanding is, they will be bringing in consultants to help us with the work. It's going to involve a lot of people involved. Everyone is going to have a place at the table, so to speak, so that we create a model that really works for our institution, but works for our students and works for us. So those are kind of the pieces that I wanted to bring forward. I wanted to give you the information that I have at this point. But it is exciting work. It's a very exciting time for us to be able to move and change what we do to serve the student population that we have now and what we'll have in the future, the student population also of the future. So very, very excited about the process, about the possibilities of our process, and really do appreciate all those in the financial aid and in A&R. I know you work really, really hard, and really do appreciate all the work you do each and every day. So that's kind of, I wanted to give you the information that I know as of right now. And then what I want to do is really turn it over and just have a dialogue with the institution, with those working in those areas, looking at what are our opportunities, what are concerns that we might have, how could we do it, really coming to the people that do the work each and every day. So we do have note takers. So again, Monique is here. She's taking notes. We're going to capture your questions. There's probably going to be a lot of times where many of us will say, don't know the answer, but good question, and we'll take it forward. So, so I'm going to stop actually the recording right there, and then just open up